This is for entertainment purposes only. This short story is only for people over the age of 18.
She was cuffed to the bolted chair, but you wouldn't know it by her attitude. She was bouncing her foot in a knee-length, high-heeled, black leather boot. She was looking bored and anxious at the same time. Her hair was dyed platinum blonde and curly. She sported an over-the-top large pair of breasts, with a tight and revealing black leather top to show her impressive cleavage. Her toned middle was showing with a large and sparkly belly button ring shaped like a butterfly, drawing the eye to her hint of impressive six-pack abs just above her extremely short leather skirt. She was curling her hair around one finger, waiting. The door to the interrogation room opened, and in walked a tall and thin man. He had on a cheap gray suit, which barely fit him, and a dull brown tie. He had a small bag in his hand, which looked like it had many pockets. He quickly took his seat in the interrogation room. His brown hair was mussed up. His ears stuck out. His gold-framed glasses looked lopsided. His head was as round as a head could be. His neck seemed more like a slope from his chin down to his breastbone. The man looked odd.
"You my lawyer?"
The woman asked.
"No, Miss Ellison, I am not."
The man said.
"Name's Lucky, and if you isn't my lawyer, fuck off."
The woman said, waving her hand.
"I'm not here to ask you questions.
The man said with a friendly smile.
I'm here to tell you, the rainbow unlocks the world of tomorrow."
The woman's eyes went wide for a moment, before they started rolling up and fluttering as only the whites showed. Her eyes then closed. Her head slumped forward onto her impressive chest. Her breathing slowed and became calm. Her body went slack as her legs slid to the floor, and her arms down to her sides.
"Yes, Miss Ellison, take your mind deeper and deeper."
The man said softly.
"Deep into the dark areas of your mind where nothing should be. There you will find your dimly lit hall of doors. Go to the door where Officer Laura Ellison is being kept. Open the door, and please let Officer Laura Ellison out. Bring her up into your mind. Let her take her rightful place as control over the body that is in fact hers. On the count of 3, Officer Laura Ellison will be back in control of her body. 1, feeling really good. 2, feeling more awake and aware, and 3, eyes open and wide awake."
The woman's eyes opened, blinking several times. She wiped the drool that was starting to form from the side of her mouth. She looked around and her eyes fell on the man across the table from her.
"Did it?"
she started to say and then stopped.
"Oh shit, it worked. Oh, fucking shit. 6 months. I was in that stupid cyber hit squad for 6 months. Oh my fucking God."
"Are you okay, Miss Ellison?"
The man asked, concerned. She held up a hand.
"No, I am absolutely not okay.
She said, looking at the table.
I need a stenographer in here right now so I can tell all the shit that I've witnessed for 6 months. I also need to yell at someone for being so in deep with them that they paid to have me get these huge breast implants, and I was okay when I was lucky, but now Officer Laura Ellison is absolutely not okay with them. I need checked for every STD known to man. Someone better have decent footwear for me, because I'm never wearing heels again."
She said this as she unzipped the side of her boot and taking them off with relief.
"Is there anything I can do for you, Officer Ellison?"
The man asked.
"I think you've done enough, Mr. Borchard."
Laura said, sounding a touch angry.
"Making me think I was a stripper and entertainer for those guys for 6 months was more than enough. It seemed so real at the time."
"To you, it was."
Borchard stated.
"That's the nature of my kind of hypnosis. I gave you a complete backstory of an absent father, a drug-addicted mother, stripping at age 18, selling your body for sex before getting in with that gang."
"More like cyber nerds."
Laura said and looked behind her at the door opening.
"You sure as hell better get these cuffs off me."
Laura said as they set up a recording machine.
"I think I should be going."
Borchard said, standing up.
"Officer Ellison, please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or concerns. Your captain has my contact info.
That'll probably never happen.
Laura said, getting her other boot off.
Thanks for the offer, though.
It was 2 days later that at the modest single-level house in a quiet suburb that Laura was standing on the doorstep and ringing the doorbell. The door opened to Borchard, wearing a t-shirt and shorts, more basketball-like than relaxing, seemed surprised to see Laura there.
Officer Ellison.
Borchard said, opening the screen door for the woman to come inside.
Please, call me Laura.
The woman said, coming into the small house.
I needed to talk to someone, not in the department.
Of course, come in, have a seat. Would you like something to drink?
Borchard asked.
Is it too much to ask for a beer?
Laura asked.
Not at all, Officer Ellison.
Borchard said, going into the back of the house where the kitchen was.
Call me Laura.
She called out.
I don't feel much like a cop these days.
Call me Otis if you wish.
Borchard offered as he came back with 2 brown bottles of beer. He handed one to Laura. Then he proceeded to twist off the top of his own.
Your first name is Otis?
Laura said, a little surprised. She sat down, her sweatshirt oversized and sporting the LA Lakers basketball team almost hid her large breasts. Her legs were covered in baggy blue jeans. On her feet were white and blue running shoes.
My grandfather's name.
Otis said with a grin.
It's a tradition passed down. If I ever get married and have children, then my grandson will have my first name.
Cute.
Laura said, twisting open her beer. She took a long pull on it before coming up for air.
God, that's much better.
Laura said, getting comfortable on the couch.
When I was with those nerds, swiping credit cards, locking systems, stealing IDs, all they had were sweet drinks. I'm never having a margarita again.
I hate sweet alcoholic drinks myself.
Otis said.
Is the transition back to being a normal police officer going well?
There was a pause, filled with a deep hole of dread before Laura spoke with her eyes unfocused.
No.
She finally said.
None of my old clothes fit. It isn't just these breasts. Those nerds were paying me, what I thought, was a lot of money, and when they said they liked seeing me exercise naked, I took that to mean I should really work up a sweat, naked, for them. So, I did. 6 months of constantly exercising, and the only time I did it was when I was recovering from having 700 cubic centimeters of silicone filling each side of my chest. So, yeah, I'm a lot bigger, muscular, than I was before, making my uniforms too tight now.
Is that a bad thing?
Otis asked.
No.
Laura stated before taking another pull on her beer.
I went to the gym today, feeling like I should exercise, but it was weird doing so with clothes on. Part of being that other girl, Lucky, has stuck with me, I guess.
That's bound to happen at least a little.
Otis stated kindly.
Your police persona was locked away, and your lucky persona was in charge. Now that you are back in charge of your mind and body, you have to incorporate everything you experienced as lucky back into your mind. There's bound to be some mixing of personas.
I just can't believe the power of you just talking. It's incredible.
Laura said, finally looking at Otis.
I remember the plan, and you talking to me, and I got really sleepy, and then I was out. I swear, for a few moments the other day, when I first woke up, I thought it hadn't worked. Then Lucky's memories came back to me, and 6 months that I was not in control were just suddenly there, in my brain.
The human mind is a very plastic organ.
Otis said, putting his beer down.
It can adapt to just about any situation. If you had stayed as lucky for longer than a year, it would have been very difficult for you to know if you are Lucky or Laura.
The officer in her plain clothes shivered, making her large breasts sway back and forth.
Even now, I think about what I did with those nerds.
Laura said, and stuck out her tongue like there was a bad taste in her mouth.
I gave so many blowjobs that if I am pressed in court for a number, I'll have to say I'm not sure, but it has to be in the triple digits.
And yet,
Otis asked.
And yet, I feel like part of me still wants to be a sex object.
Laura stated, looking at Otis with concern.
When I was lucky, I had power over those nerds with my body, with sex, but now, I don't have that power anymore. I know I was undercover, but still. They thought they were in control because they were paying me, but really, I was in control because it was my body. But I wasn't in control because you had made me that way. I liked the sex as Lucky. I'm not sure if I'll like sex as much as Laura. I liked the control as Lucky, but now as Laura, I have command back, and control, I guess, but I'm not sure how much I want the stress again.
I'm sorry for this.
Otis said, hanging his head a little.
You weren't supposed to actually have sex with them. The thought was, you would only be a stripper.
And yet, I had no idea of this.
Laura said, looking straight at Otis. He looked up and their eyes met.
I had no idea I was a police officer. I had no idea that I was undercover. I had no idea I was collecting information on their illegal activity. I thought I was Lucky, a down-on-her-luck stripper. Now, I remember the academy, the training, the self-defense classes, the criminal justice classes, and my parents smiling and waving at me when I graduated. Now, this is going to be a very uncomfortable Thanksgiving.
Other than being a sympathetic ear, is there anything I can do for you?
Otis asked. There was a long pause before Laura spoke again.
I don't ever want to do this again.
Laura stated.
Swear to me that you will never have me go undercover as someone else, ever again, even if I beg for it.
If you don't want to do so, there's no way I can force you to be someone you don't want to be.
Otis stated.
Really?
Laura asked in a skeptical way.
You just talked to me, and 6 months later I'm waking up with a chest that looks like I have cantaloupes bolted on. I have buns of steel, that really are like metal. I have biceps and abs that I've never had even when training to be a police officer. Who do you think I want to be?
You tell me.
Otis asked. Laura opened her mouth to speak, but then shut it. She tried to drink her beer, but it was empty.
I don't want to be Lucky again.
Laura said.
I don't want that life of using sex to control people. I don't like being in control. I liked the simple life. I liked letting other people do whatever, and just going with the flow. Not having to worry about anything but sex was great too. That was nice, but not who I am. I'm not sure who I am, exactly, but I know I am not Lucky. So, help me not be Lucky again, Borchard.
If that's what you want.
Otis said.
The rainbow locks away the sun.
What?
Laura started to say. Then her eyes rolled up, so far up only the whites showed a moment before closing. Her head then slumped forward as her body relaxed. The empty beer bottle fell to the floor from slack fingers as Laura's body slumped over onto the couch, limp and relaxed.
Deeper and deeper.
Otis said softly.
Deep into your mind. Down to where all those doors are. Officer Ellison is now going to walk into the empty room there, and the door will close on her. Now, another door opens. From this room comes a new woman. This woman has limited thoughts, and empty of any personal desires or wants. The only thoughts this woman has is obedience to me, Dr. Otis Borchard. This is Slave Laser. As Laser, she is focused only on my pleasure, only on obedience to me. Slave Laser will do everything she can to please me, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Laser has control over Laura's body and mind. Anything Dr. Otis Borchard tells Slave Laser becomes totally and completely true, no matter anything to the contrary. Slave Laser will come back to reality on the count of 3. 1. Coming into the light with a focus on me. 2. Service and obedience are the only desires Slave Laser has. 3. Eyes open and fully awake.
She sat up, blinked several times as her mind once again became aware of the world around her. What she became intensely aware of was Otis. Her eyes went wide. Her breathing became fast and hot. She slid off the couch to her knees. She bent low before Otis, stretching her hands out, her fingers straight as if reaching for the man's feet.
Master,
She said into the carpet.
Slave Laser is yours to command.
A smile spread across the man's face.
Stand, strip, and then kneel before your master, slave.
Otis ordered.
Yes, Master.
Laser stated quickly before leaping to her feet. The sweater went off with one swing of her arm. The extremely large white bra was almost ripped from her chest, but her mountainous breasts barely moved as her smooth slopes were revealed and her stone-like nipples embraced the air. She pulled her belt off with firm movements, and the baggy jeans fell without being undone. To show tight, thin, and sexy red lacy panties that went well up between her butt cheeks before being pulled down. The shoes were kicked off with ankle socks slipped off. For just a moment Slave Laser stood naked. Her arms and shoulders packed with muscles giving her top a triangle-like shape down to a waist where her middle was packed with enough muscles to give a defined six-pack. Her hips were solid with strong legs with visible cords running the length of her thighs, and calves that were developed enough to have split into two muscle groups. Her skin was smooth, with only a few minor imperfections that added to the sculpture that was her body. Her legs and mound were shaved smooth with her desires starting to glisten between her legs. With her task completed, the blonde went down to her knees again, ass on heels, waiting for orders. The smile on her face and the light in her eyes, she was enraptured by the man before her. She was breathing hot, and her body would twitch when those blue eyes would shoot a glance down to what he had between his legs.
Wow.
Otis said a little shocked.
I've never done this before. I wasn't sure if it would even work.
Slave Laser said nothing as she waited. Otis started again.
Slave Laser, how do you feel?
I feel obedient, Master.
The woman said with a smile.
How do you want me to feel?
Obedient works.
Otis answered.
I also want you to feel aroused, highly aroused.
Slave Laser shivered. Her face and chest became flush with a red. It was her body reacting to commands. Simple words made her body feel a complex emotion such as sexual hunger.
I want you to feel like your only purpose in life is to please me, in every way possible.
Otis stated.
Yes, Master.
Slave Laser responded with hot breath.
Please, Master, let me please you.
Let's go to the bedroom and you can please me there.
Otis stated, standing up.
Yes, Master, at once, Master.
Slave Laser said, getting on all fours and heading for the bedrooms.
What are you doing?
Otis asked, seeing her on her hands and knees.
This slave is crawling to the bedrooms.
Slave Laser said, stopping to look up at Otis.
You're a human, not a dog. Stand up.
Otis said, annoyed, which seemed to pain the woman.
You may have to obey me completely in all things, but that doesn't mean you're not a person. Granted, I plan on using that amazing body for sex, but you should enjoy it too.
Yes, Master, thank you, Master.
Slave Laser said, standing up.
This slave, I will do everything I can to please you.
Get on the bed with your legs spread and we can see about you pleasing me, while I please you.
Otis stated, starting to take his clothes off.
This will be the best sex of your life. You'll have an unending string of highly pleasurable orgasms. Nothing will feel as good as what I do to you.
Oh, Master!
Slave Laser said, letting her legs spread wide.
My body is yours to do with as you. Oh!
Does that feel good, slave?
Otis asked as if he didn't know the answer.
Oh! Master! You feel amazing!
Slave Laser yelled.
I orgasm for you, Master!
With that, the first of many orgasms left the woman wet, shaking, sweaty, and smiling. She looked longingly at the man that was inside of her, until her eyes rolled up as another orgasm quickly took her over. This was just the start of a long and highly pleasurable night for both of them. 3 weeks later, Otis Borchard was walking into the police precinct. He checked in, navigated the halls, and went to the bank of elevators. Just as Officer Ellison came up to the same bank of elevators,
Dr. Borchard.
Laura said with a smile.
Fancy meeting you here. What brings you by the dungeon?
Officer Ellison, hello, I'm here to help someone remember details of a murder the other day.
Otis answered.
That carjacking?
Laura asked as the elevator doors opened and the pair stepped in.
As far as I know.
Otis answered as the elevator doors closed with them being the only ones inside.
I see you've decided to keep the hair and enhancements.
They've grown on me.
Laura said looking down at her chest.
Well, not grown on me since they were implanted, but I've decided I like how they look. I've also kept up with the exercising, even increased it a bit, to keep my body looking good.
If you don't mind me say.
Otis said with a grin.
You do look good.
Thank you, a girl loves compliments.
Laura said with a blush.
I'm on my way to the forensic lab. I've changed career paths after, you know.
Good for you. Something less stressful.
Otis said as they both got out on the third floor.
I wouldn't say that, but it is a 9 to 5, mostly, and that leaves me time for a social life.
Laura said with a grin up at Otis.
This isn't your floor, is it?
No, but I wanted to keep talking to you.
Otis answered with a grin. This made Laura blush even more.
You know, since my schedule is more predictable, do you feel like getting a drink when I get off work?
Laura asked with a slight hitch in her voice.
I would love to.
Otis said, flipping out his business card.
When you get off, give me a call. My therapy practice is just a few blocks away.
Thanks.
Laura said, deliberately touching Otis' hand when she took his card.
I don't really need this since I have everything about you burned into my brain, like a slave laser.
The end. This was a work of fiction. Any similarity between people, living or dead, is purely coincidence. This scenario did not, or should not, have happened in real life. Thank you for listening.